The week before Christmas, I decided it was time. I invited everyone to dinner at an Italian restaurant downtown. My parents, his parents, Lauren, Mason. I gave each of them a different reason to come. To my parents, I said I wanted to celebrate the holidays early. To his parents, I sent a message saying I had a surprise planned for their son. To Lauren, I texted, I really need you tonight. Please come. To Mason, I said I had booked the restaurant to celebrate our anniversary a few weeks early. No one asked questions. I arrived at 6:15. The reservation was at 7 o'clock. I needed the extra time. I spoke with the host and adjusted the seating slightly so my chair faced the entrance and the hallway leading to the restrooms. I preferred seeing WH. Mason had brought me there on our first anniversary. I remembered him asking me to close my eyes before he handed me a necklace across the table. I had believed I married a thoughtful, steady man. Now I sat in the same place with legal documents inside my purse. Nicole had texted me at 5 o'clock. Everything's organized. Call if you need anything. I replied with a simple thank you and put my phone away. I wasn't nervous. I wasn't shaking. I had already lived through the worst part. The moment at the sink. My parents arrived first at 6:50. My mother walked in wearing the beige coat I gave her last year. My father followed behind her, holding an umbrella even though it wasn't raining. What are we celebrating? My mom asked as she sat down. Just being together, I said. 7 minutes later, Mason's parents walked in. Mrs. Hahn scanned the room before smiling. Mr. Hahn stayed close beside her. When I poured water into her glass, she looked directly at me. I held her gaze. She looked away first. Lauren arrived at 7:05. She wore a dark green dress that made her pregnancy obvious now. The gold earrings I had given her for her birthday caught the light when she hugged me. How are you? She whispered. Good, I said. Sit next to me. Mrs. Hahn's expression tightened for a fraction of a second. Lauren didn't notice. Mason walked in last at 7:12, adjusting his jacket like he always did when he was late. He spotted me across the room and smiled. That smile used to calm me. He greeted everyone and sat to my left. Traffic was awful, he said. He placed his hand over mine on the table. I let it stay there. The waiter came to take our orders. Small talk filled the table while we waited for the food. December weather, Christmas plans, my dad telling a story about a neighbor's tree falling into the sidewalk. Everyone laughed. Mason looked relaxed, leaning back in his chair, talking about an update his team had launched that week. He had no idea. For 3 weeks, he hadn't suspected anything. The bread basket arrived. Lauren reached for a piece. Mrs. Hahn made another comment in Korean about how much Lauren was eating. I understood every word. I smiled and said nothing. Mason squeezed my hand under the table, a gesture that used to mean I'm here. I wondered how long it would take him to realize that soon I wouldn't be. The waiter brought the first course. Mason lifted his glass toward the center of the table. To family, he said. Everyone raised their glasses. I raised mine too. Then I set it down without drinking. I looked at Lauren, who was laughing at something my father said. I looked at Mrs. Hahn, who was already planning in Korean how to explain this to relatives back home. I looked at Mason, who still believed he was in control. And I reached into my purse. This is where part 1 ends. If you don't want to wait for part 2, the full version link is in my